New Orleans football. We are, of course, talking Saints, Jaguars. Brooke on the sidelines here post-game. Oh, God, the game is sickening. I'm not going to lie. The performance, disgusting. I mean, this team is lost. The fan base is disenchanted. The fan base is upset. I was in the dome, in the stands. People were not happy at all. So let's hear what Brooke has to say.
Like Sunday's loss to the Texans, the Saints showed signs of life in the fourth quarter tonight against the Jaguars, tying it up with under 7 minutes to play after going up tempo. But when the Jags scored again, the Saints did not have an answer, falling 31-24 and dropping to 3-4 on the season. Welcome back to the Dot postgame coverage presented by Matt Bowers Auto Group. I'm Brooke Kirchhoffer. The word inconsistent was used a lot when head coach Dennis Allen took the podium. There were good things from both.
I don't even know if they're inconsistent. They're consistently bad. I'll say that. But the Saints aren't, to be inconsistent, you have to have moments of greatness, right? Like you have to have peaks and valleys. The Saints just have valleys. The Saints just have awful valleys right now. They're just bad. The only peaks are like if they look like a functioning team. We certainly haven't had like moments of greatness. The team is just in total disarray. I mean, there's no other way to put it. The red zone issues are laughable. The play calling, laughable. Derek Carr's performance, laughable. It's as bad a team has looked, I think, all season. It's the current form of the Saints. And it's kind of a cruel joke that somehow, even though we've been this bad, somehow we should have won like all these games. Like the Jacksonville game, we're still in it at the end. The Texans game, we're still in it at the end. The Packers game, we're up 18-0 or whatever it was at one point. Like each one of those losses, we either should have won or we had a chance to win, and we just fumbled the bag.
Both the offense and defense tonight against the Jaguars, but not enough to get the win. The offense found success in the red zone twice, but failed on 3 of 5 red zone trips. We asked Alvin Kamara after the game if he felt like the team got any closer to what they can be tonight in this loss. This is what he had to say.
No. Just being honest, I don't know. I can't even elaborate. I don't think so. It's not enough. Obviously, that's what we seeing. It's not enough. We can't.
Look, there's no way this can be close. Like there's no way this team can even say like, yeah, this is pretty close to there. We have so many plays that are just dead plays because of miscommunication or either throwing it away or throwing it to a receiver who's not there, or receivers running the wrong routes, or receivers running into each other, or Derek Carr checking down. Like, there's such a high percentage of our plays that are dead before they even start, that never get a chance to develop because either, like I said, we're not on the same page or whatever. So I'm with Alvin. There's no possible way you can sit here and look at this team and say, yeah, they're pretty close to there. They just need to fix a few things. I think this was a huge step backwards. I think this was, it's hard to. Part of me thinks this was worse than the Texans game. Part of me thinks this is probably the worst performance, and that's troubling when your back's against the wall. Your season's on the line. You're at home. You've had a ton of scrutiny and a ton of pressure on you from the fan base and from the media. You said you're going to fix it, and then by you fixing it, it's somehow now, and by you, I mean like the coaches and the players or whoever, now somehow it's worse. So that is very troubling, right? What should happen is you should have your bad performance that everyone kind of gets on you, season on the line, backs against the wall, and then you kind of slowly go up from there, or at least plateau. But they're getting worse, which makes me think are they pressing too much? Are they, is their confidence shaken? They kind of seem like that. What they seem like to me is, and this can be any sport, but when someone gets the yips, or when their confidence is shaken or whatever, sometimes the only thing to do is kind of take a step backwards. Like if you've seen baseball players who all of a sudden they can't throw home, or you see basketball players who all of a sudden can't can't make a free throw, or you see golfers who all of a sudden can't hit the ball. Sometimes you just got to like take a step backwards. The more you lean into it, the more you press, the more you try, the more you get frustrated, the worse it's going to be. And then you get more frustrated, and then you press more. It's like it's this awful cycle. And usually, but the bad thing for the Saints are they can't step away, right? Like they can't. They have a game in 10 days. So this is kind of a bye week, but I don't know. I don't know what has to happen because they have to get themselves out of this somehow.
We're finding it hard to start fast. I think we're finding it hard to maintain, to execute sometimes, and I think we find it hard to finish.
We all got to be better, man. Yeah, I mean, I got to be better. Our guys got to be better. Coaches, everybody. We're, no matter what, like, I thought we, as a whole team, did a great job of fighting back in the second half. But we're all going to look at that tape and be like, we could all play better.
Yeah, no moral victories.
I certainly hope so. If you watch that tape and you're like, damn, we were pretty good tonight, that is not good. I mean, but what Alvin said is a good way to put it. Like we can't start. We, again, go into halftime with 6 points. We can't start. We can't sustain. We can't score. We're not efficient in the red zone at all. It's actually kind of laughable. We're not even, efficient. We're nothing in the red zone. We're comically bad historically bad in the red zone. So can't start, can't sustain, can't score in the red zone, and then we can't finish. So when you put all that together, it's like, man, that's a long way to just say we're a bad team. You tell me there's a team that can't start, can't sustain, can't score, and can't finish. It's like, man, I'm starting to think y'all are just bad, right? So is that where we are? Somehow is this team just bad? With this talented roster, whatever has happened to kind of shatter their confidence or fracture their confidence or whatever, somehow they've transformed into just a bad team. Like last year, we weren't a bad team. We were just kind of average. We were just like irrelevant and average. This current version of the Saints is a bad team. When you are whatever Derek Carr was, 5 for 15 on third downs with a pick six and everything else, when you have those stats, you're not average. You're not, whatever. You are bad at that point.
A loss, especially for Saints tight end Foster Moreau, who was visibly upset after the game after failing to haul in a pass in the end zone that would have at least put the Saints in a position to tie it or go for 2 to win the game. Here's what
So in the stands, I was saying they should have went for 2, and I don't know the full analytics of it of what would have been the right decision, but can you imagine if we would have went for 2, what that play would look like? We were talking about it in the stands, but imagine what Pete would have drawn up. I mean, I can't even fathom what it would have been. But if we scored, I was hoping we would just go for it because the game we were so bad. We had no answer for Jacksonville the entire game. It's like, if you have a chance to win the game on the 3-yard line, you take that chance, I think, in those situations. But I can't even. I guess it probably would have been a go route or just like a fade or something.
Foster Moreau had to say after the game on that play.
That pass to do a job, it's like it's routine. It was the right throw, it was the right read.
Yeah, hit you in the hands.
I ran a little short on the route. I thought
hit him in the hands.
I thought something different, and that's a short week. That's a lack of focus, lack of concentration. It's unacceptable.
Look, I say this all the time. You can't put it all on him. You can't put all of it on Blake Grupe. Like when he missed that field goal to put us in the lead in the Packers game, I said the same thing. It's not his fault we blew the lead like that. You can't get it down to one moment like that. Like obviously Foster should have caught the pass. He knows that. But you can't sit here and be like, we lost because Foster Moreau dropped that pass. We lost because we are awful on third down. We lost because we are awful in the red zone. We lost because we really couldn't stop Jacksonville. We lost because, there's so many different reasons. So I would tell everyone to hesitate, pump the brakes on blaming any specific moment in a game. Any one moment. Same thing with the the NFC Championship game with the Rams with the penalty. You know, people say we lost because of the penalty we lost because of the no call. Well, we also lost because we got the ball in overtime first and Drew Brees threw an interception. You know, like there's so many different things that happen during a game. It's unfair to the players, whether it's Groupie or Moreau or whoever, you know, to blame it all on one moment. Obviously, he'll get the most scrutiny because it was last play of the game, basically, and it was such an easy catch, but yeah.
The Saints will now get 10 days to prepare for the Indianapolis Colts on the road. We will hear from head coach Dennis Allen tomorrow, and then we will break down the loss live on NewOrleans.football from PJ's Coffee. We'll see you there.
So the Colts game, I mean, the season's on the line. Like every game now, you have to win. Every game, the Saints have to win, not only for the results and the standing and the division and the playoffs or whatever, but they have to win for themselves. They have to win for their own confidence. They have to win just to believe something. You know, this is a team searching for things. This is a team searching for positive things. You know, Derek Carr is searching for a connection with his receivers. He's, you know, Pete Carmichael and Dennis Allen are searching for results. And we have to start doing, like, that's the biggest focus right now. The biggest focus shouldn't be, oh, well, maybe we can still win the division, or, oh, maybe we can make the playoffs. The focus right now should be this team has to get back to playing football. It has to get back to confident football. You know, being a team, believing in themselves, believing in each other. And that's the Colts game is that. Is basically each game is the Super Bowl now. Because if we, like I was saying earlier with the golfer and all that stuff, if we play Indianapolis and we have 3 points at halftime or 6 points at halftime, you know all those players are going to be pressing. You know all the players are just going to be thinking about it, and it's just going to be eating away at them. You know, so same thing if first on the first drive, if Carr throws a pick six, you know, he's going to be just so in his own head. So we have to start having success, or everything we're talking about is just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. Right now, I mean, it's a lost team, and I hope that they find themselves soon, because watching this product right now it's hard to watch. I mean, it's getting to the point to where it's not fun to watch this team. It's not fun to watch the team play like this, or the you know, it's disappointing for sure. But man, I mean, so that's really all we can do now is say, let's have positive plays. Let's have positive games for these players' confidence. You know, we don't want this to keep mounting up. So the Indianapolis game, even though it's a non-divisional game, it's, you know, it's a Gardner Minshew is the quarterback for Indianapolis, even though it's kind of a meaningless situation, the Saints have to, and it's 10 days. So now you've got 10 days to prepare, 10 days to think about this. And if they come out flat, or they come out without answers, or without change, or they play bad, oof, that's hard to bounce back from that. Let me know in the comments below what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video.